I am Stephen Carter, and I am your host for the Use Tarot Cards to tap into your intuition. This is a video replay of a live event that was put on for the Baltimore and Columbia Energy Healers Meetup group. The presenter, Margieann Bell. Margieann has been reading tarot cards for 50 years. She tells the story as a young 20-something. The tarot deck fell from a display on a store shelf. It fell right to her feet. And somehow she took that as a sign tarot cards were going to be an important part of her life, and indeed they have been. She made her living doing tarot card reading for psychic lines in the 90s. She ultimately went to work for the federal government, but she continued to read people with tarot cards and using other intuitive methods as well. She is an excellent tarot card teacher, and you'll have a chance if you would like to join her for training. There's that opportunity, and she'll tell you about that in this video. If you're watching the video after November of 2019, you can still contact her by email. There may be opportunities in the months ahead if you would like to be trained by her or if you would simply like to get a reading. One other item about this recording: just prior to this event occurring, Margieann experienced a problem with her computer. As a result, we had to use her cell phone. The audio is good. You will be able to hear her. There are some video challenges, but what's really important is the content, the audio, the readings that she is doing for those who were on the call. You will also hear the reactions of those who received readings right on target, according to everyone who received the readings. Some of the readings we were not able to put on this video because of the personal nature, but many of them were fine. They were general enough. So we have done that. Let's join Margieann. This event is in process. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
Um, Tarot cards are easy to read, and then they're not. It depends on how confusing they get to you and how you lay them down. Initially, when you're first learning how to use tarot cards, I would express that you would just use 1 to 3 cards only, and so that you can get more familiar with them. And then you also want to look at what they're trying to tell you, what they're indicating is possibly going to come into your life. Now, nothing is written. Well, no, I should say this the other way around. Tarot cards are not written in stone. We always have choice. We always have free will, and we can change anything. Even if you had a dream tonight that said a bad accident was going to happen to you, you would have the choice to change something to help it to not happen. Because all dreams and tarot card readings and any other things that come to us are usually just trying to help us to see a way around an incident or something that's going to happen. Okay. I have seen the most, uh, uh, I guess, misunderstood things around several cards. One would be death, the other one's the devil, the fool, the magician, and the tower card can be very confusing to people. And I will tell you, if they do come up to you, you have to really think about, they're not trying to say your end is at hand for something like the death card or the tower card. They're more or less just trying to show you that something deeply wants to change in your life, and you have free will or free choice as to how you act about that. Okay. 5 things that I see that are very needed in any given situation in life, but especially when you're looking to see what's coming for you. One is trust. The other one is forgiveness, gratefulness, your heart-centered, breathe, and then just to be in your life, meaning just be there, be where you are at the present moment. Don't always dwell on what happened behind you or what's going to happen in front of you. As long as you're in the current moment, you can move forward a little bit easier. At this time, I would ask Steve to present the list that everyone received in an email, and that is a list about how to open up your intuition. And on that list, you're going to see 21 items. I came up with this list back in 2010 for a class that I was doing with some other ladies. But I would say for new tarot readers, or even for tarot readers that have been doing it for years, or even for healers, because healers understand about opening the door to their intuition probably better than anyone else. Because to do healing work, distant or even close up, you have to be willing to not be you. And what you're putting out, you have to look at the person that you're working on and understand that you're just a facilitator of that healing work. So I would say if you would focus on initially keeping an open mind, allowing for your heart to be present, allowing for yourself to believe in what's coming up in front of you, and be very willing to be aware of who you are and what's around you. Okay? You can put that down now, Steve. My personal choice, my favorite tarot cards are from the Rider deck, as I'm putting up the box in front of you. They are the ones I'll be using to teach a class on how to read tarot cards. If you wish to learn how to read tarot cards or learn more about them and you don't have a deck, I would go to Amazon.com or whatever, or any other place that you know where you can find one. And I would look for this deck because I find it most easy to read. I personally have found that tarot cards are useful even in my own life. They don't always tell me something exactly, but they give me an idea of where to go or what I want to think or what I want to look for. And so I would say that to you, look for what you want to think about, what you're asking about. Do you want to know what's going to happen next week? Do you want to know what's going to happen next year? These are all good questions. Or do you just want to know what's the most important thing you might need to know? Okay, so at this time, I'm going to open up the floor to anybody who has a question or, as Steve said, wants a simple one-card reading to help them understand something.
Okay, let me open. What I'm going to do is go down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got a reasonable number of folks on the call. So I'm going to just go down one by one and open the audio. If you have a question or you have a question about tarot cards, in developing your intuition, or anything else related to that, ask that. And or if you have a question that you would like Margieann to consult the tarot cards for you and give you a one-card reading, brief reading, ask that away. So I'm going to begin with Carol. Carol, go ahead.
Margieann, I'm kind of new to this, and there is a struggle in my life that I'm going through now with my house, with some repair work being done. And I just was kind of curious of what your cards would say or what you knew from the cards.
About your house. When is your birthday, Carol? Just the month and the day. Next. Okay, yeah. And you want to know about, okay, hold on. And this is repairs of your house that you own.
Right.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So here's another reason that this is coming up. I have a feeling it's a card that's going to tell you, it's going to say that the tower, and it looks like everything is destroyed, correct? Can you
Oh,
see it?
that's pretty accurate in some ways.
Okay. Well, what that's telling me is, okay, first of all, I get that you're wondering if you should leave this house. And I'm saying, I would say no. I see you there. I think you've already been there a long time. And you feel like you have a need for change. I would say yes, go ahead with the work in stages. Go, because something is like saying there's a pinch here. There's like a pinch in your pocket, or your stream of money, and it's like it would be costing more than you could afford at one time. So I'd say go in stages. So Carol, did that help answer your question?
I missed the very last of what you said. I missed because it got real garbled. I got as far as this is a pinch with your pocket, and see me there at least 3 years. And then after that, I couldn't understand it. It was garbled.
It was more or less telling me that you're going to have a little bit of a struggle with it, and you would have to do it piecemeal for the repairs that you're talking about. And what I was getting is you felt like you might need to leave there now, but I don't see this being the right time. Does that help?
It all makes perfect sense.
Oh, okay, cool. If you, like I told you before, if you have anything further you need, just give me an email, and I'll gladly talk to you.
Oh, that's great. This all makes perfect sense, and it's, I don't even know how to express it. It's impressive that you came up with this, never talking to me before. It's impressive.
Well, I didn't really explain this further, and maybe I should to everybody, but what I do is I ask Spirit to help, to show me how to help. And you gave me the date of birth for your month and your day, and that gives me a little bit closer to you. And I know your name, and I already had gotten vibrations from when you were the first one on the line. And so it's just something I know how to do. I don't know how to explain it myself most of the time. I just trust it. Okay?
Well, you're doing really good.
Thank you. But I understand why what you said to me earlier about being something this has never really crossed your path maybe before. So anything you want to know, just ask, okay?
That sounds great. And I really get the sense with this of the spirituality of it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Carol, for that.
My name is Lisa.
Lisa, okay, go ahead, Lisa.
Yes,
do you have
I'm
a question?
The one with the iPhone.
Okay.
So I recently started reading tarot, but I guess sometimes I'm a little nervous, but when I read, my readings are always accurate. And so I'm good with picking up energy and kind of incorporating that in the reading. But I'm still a little nervous because I don't fully know the deck. But I was told to just read the deck off of my intuition. I was just wondering, what would be your advice to that as a new reader?
Okay, I only heard part of that. Can you speak up just a tad more?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That you know how to read tarot cards, but you don't know the deck like card for card. So,
correct.
Okay, so when you lay out your cards, what kind of system do you use? Do you use a 3 card, 1 card, 6 card?
So
How do you,
I use the one card where I pull from the deck and then I read that card and then I just keep pulling and reading the cards as I pull them.
do you have a situation that you're thinking about at that time?
So what I typically do, what I have done so far, because it's only really been about a couple of months, I would ask the person, what is it that they're looking to get answers about?
So you're reading for someone else.
Yes.
Okay. Mm,
So I would
well,
ask.
okay. Well, okay. Are you reading for somebody that you're sitting with, or are you reading for someone that's far away?
Sometimes it's over the phone, so they're far away, and then sometimes it's in person. Like yesterday, it was in person for my cousin and two of her friends.
All right. So when you're doing that, do you take a couple of deep breaths, center your heart space, and just allow spirit to show you where you want to take the direction or where you want to use the energy?
Yes.
Yes.
So
So do
I
you do
shuffle the
that?
deck, but I also burn incense. And I also have a white candle lit, and
Okay.
I just shuffle the deck. I'll ask them a question, and then as I'm shuffling the deck, I'll say out loud the question that they want to, what they want to know, and then I will constantly say it in my head as I'm shuffling the deck. And then for some reason, I don't know, spirit just tells me to knock on the deck 3 times. I do it, and then I begin reading, and then everything that I tell them is what they say is going on in their life. And
Okay. All right. A couple of things that I could offer you. You don't have to constantly repeat the question. All you have to, when you're shuffling your cards, are you shuffling them softly? Meaning,
um,
are you just going from hand to hand, or are you doing a hard shuffle like you do with regular cards?
sometimes it varies. I don't really have a real system. I just
Well,
shuffle.
let me suggest to you then this. Go from hand to hand and shuffle them that way. Don't shuffle them in a
Okay.
hard way. Simply shuffle them softly. Lay them down, and with your left hand, tap them, and then cut them to the left. And the top card should be the best card for you to help that person. You don't
Okay.
have to. I have found this to be useful now for more than probably 25 or 30 years.
Okay.
This is it's, and when you store your cards, keep them in their box or keep them wrapped around something like a silk cover or a scarf, and treat them with reverence. Don't just throw them in a drawer. And if you want to have a candle, that's good. But I would also suggest a piece of pink quartz or white quartz would also
Okay.
help you to center yourself a bit more. Did that
Oh,
help?
yes, it did.
Okay. Do you need anything else?
No, that's it for me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Okay.
The cards, and also just what I picked up myself, is that this is a cycle. It goes from happy to depressed to happy. It's like a roll of toilet paper that wants to unwind forever. And it feels like it needs to be cut in some way. Well, sometimes you can't. Sometimes they have to make a choice for themselves. But here's 2 things I would suggest to you. Sit quietly in a chair sometime today or tomorrow. Put a chair across from you. It doesn't have to have him in it. Actually, it's better to have the empty chair and you visualize him in it. And simply take your hands and cut the energy like they're a pair of scissors or a sharp knife. Cut the cord of energy that you see going between you, and let it go. and then simply say, I release you, I forgive you, I'm free. And clap your hands each time. 3 times do that. Go turn your hands toward him and send him as much unconditional love as you can. Just surround him in all the unconditional love that you have for him. And then simply say, I release myself. I free myself. No, I missed a spot. I forgive myself. I release myself. I'm free. That way you free yourself from being tied into his energy. You might have to do this a couple of times over the next 3 weeks, but this is going to help him to see something differently than what he's already seeing. If you simply do this one step, even if it takes you a couple of times over the next 3 weeks, that seems important to tell you, then this will help him to break something in that cycle. There's a choice that you can't make for him. He simply has to be willing to make the choice for himself. And that's what's been the hard thing to do, even when he's been in a recovery program or a rehab program. He simply goes through the motions, but when he goes out there in the world, he forgets to keep making the choices. So, oh, that's why I couldn't get where it was in your body then. Okay, I understand now. All right, hold on a second. Do you understand about trusting your heart and being open to your heart and being willing to live in the moment?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
But are you willing to live that way? Because I think there's part of your that's part of the mental health that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Sometimes you get lost and you forget that you have free will or free choice.
The lost part is huge.
Say that again.
Lost, that word lost, and what it means for me and how that feels is very true.
Okay. Well, you're in a period, if you can see the card that I've pulled,
Yes.
it's the 7 of Pentacles.
Okay.
This is more or less a card that's not a major card. It's a more or less, it's one of the minor cards in the Pentacle suit. And it really talks about waiting. It talks about waiting for something to happen, but putting things aside that help you be healthy every day instead of actually living each day willingly and not worry about the waiting. Or hold on, I need a little drink of water. Okay. And not be stuck in what you're waiting for. That feels like it's okay. I would go out on a limb here and say that I don't feel like your mental health is in danger. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. But it just feels like you're stuck because you're waiting for something to happen that I don't even think needs to happen. And you've put so much of your energy into that you're forgetting to live each moment of every day.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I would suggest finding someone to talk to a bit more. I'm more than willing to talk to you myself. If you need me to, if you want to email me and
Yes.
we can have a conversation. But you feel right now like you're on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like you're sitting on the edge of a mountain, and you can either choose to turn around and walk the path, or I can choose to fall over.
Yes.
And I think you're waiting for something to happen to either help you walk the path or to fall over. And you're sort of stuck there in the middle. I would strongly suggest either talking to me or someone else, or even to talk to Steve. He's a very good listener. I have found that to be true. And he has a lot of skills. We both have a lot of healing skills. But he
That's more
also,
important to me than mental health, dealing with mental health providers, because I'm more spiritually and healing bent, if that makes sense.
well,
I
he's
have a
more
lot of that background myself. I
he's
think
more
that would be better
spiritually
for me.
bent. Okay, go ahead.
I think what you're saying is right, correct. And I think it would be better to talk to somebody who's more open in that spiritual minded healing.
Well, I'm open in that. Steve is open in that. I don't know anybody else that is in this area or in where you may live, but I know that I'd be willing to listen and help, and I know he would also. And I hope he understands what I'm recommending.
Yeah,
Okay?
I do, but I tell you, I'm not currently taking clients. So what I
Okay.
would suggest is go ahead, email Margieann. I think what I'm getting is that there's a lot more under the hood
Mm,
that I think she can help you unpack and get squared away in your life.
Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it. I will email her. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Jane, any questions? And I'm sure you've had
Yes,
many
yes.
readings with Margieann, but go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to ask you a question, Margieann, and that
okay,
is,
sweetheart.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I made an investment 5 years ago, and what I would like to do would be the result of this investment, if it were to pay off, would really change my ability to do some things. But I had thought it would pay off by now. It hasn't. And I'm wondering if it ever will. I mean, it doesn't. If it doesn't, then I do something else. But will it pay
Okay.
off? And is there something you'd like to tell me
All right. Well,
about it?
there's something I already been feeling since I emailed you the other day. One, is there any way for you to go a little further north? Because I'm feeling like you're in a space that doesn't feel good. And I'm talking about where you're living. I'm not necessarily where you are today, but is there any way in the next 6 months that you can push a little north, push a little more to the north, where you would be a bit safer? And
Okay. I can start. I
hold
hadn't
on.
thought of that, but I can start looking or
Okay,
thinking.
well, and I'm looking at your investment. Hold on. I keep getting a little more time. But that seems too long. First I saw 15 years, but now I'm getting a 5. Okay, hold on. See, you've got this card here. I don't think we've ever discussed tarot cards,
No.
but this is the 5 of Cups. It's a guy that's everything is turned away from what he wants. Has it already? You said it's been 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then this would tell me that it's bottomed out initially. And I don't think that means what it sounds like, because usually if you say bottomed out, you're usually looking at something that's going to be a loss. But I feel like it's going to have, now that we've gotten 2 to 5 years, if you give it 3 more months, it will start to go the other direction. And it might take, okay, hold on. Right, okay. It's going to take at least 2 more months or to 2 years. It's got It's got something around it that's going to keep it hidden. It's going to seem to bottom out, and then it's going to reverse and come back, but it's going to take between 2 months to 2 years to show you anything that you want from it. And so I don't want to say to you, count on it right yet. But I don't,
Okay.
but I don't think, are you tempted to take all of your money that's left out of it?
No.
Is anybody else talking to you about doing something like that? Because I feel like somebody is going to pose a question to you. It could be your husband. But I would say at this point, keep waiting a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you feel like in the next 2 months well, that's a long time, 2 months to 2 years. I want to say if you feel like anywhere in the summer, yes, in the summer of 2020, if you feel like you need to back out of this, that would be the time. If you
Oh,
let it
okay.
go past that, it'll come to maybe about 75% of what you were expecting.
Okay.
But I really feel strongly that somewhere further north would put you in a safer spot, including the people you live around. I don't know what I'm seeing
Okay.
here.
Mm-hmm.
I will talk to you about this another time
Okay.
if you need me to,
Great.
but you feel like you need to go more north,
Go north. Okay.
okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Margieann.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Okay, go north, young lady,
Go
go
north.
north. Okay. There are some messages in chat.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is review those at the end, and I will send the chat to Margieann to get back in touch with you. Or what I would suggest, if you put something in chat and we don't get it addressed, I would suggest go ahead and email Margieann and talk to her directly. Okay. So we will put Jane back on mute. Keisha, have we spoken with you yet?
Can you hear
Keisha?
me?
Yeah,
Hi.
it's kind of hard, but yes. Have we spoken to you yet? I've lost
No.
track. Okay. What questions, if any, do you have for Margieann?
So I put my question in chat. I'll just read it. So I was saying that I have the Rider Waite deck, and I was looking to purchase a guide. On Amazon, there's a bunch of them, and I've read some of the reviews, and basically people say that these guides aren't for beginners. And I was just wondering if you could suggest something that would help a beginner to understand the deck a little bit better. I do have the little insert that comes with the deck. And for the most part, you know, I see a bunch of words that are associated with at least the major arcana, and then the minor, it's more in depth, but just wondering if you could suggest anything else that might be helpful.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of this one book. And I can't change my screen to look for it or we'll get lost. Email me and I will come back to you with a couple of books that I know I've used in the past to help other people. And if you'd like, you can, I'm going to hold in another week or so on the weekend, I'm going to hold a class for a basic beginner how to read tarot cards. And it's not going to be very expensive. And so if you want to learn a little bit more through someone who's been doing this for a really long time, I'd welcome you.
All right,
Okay?
that sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. A question for Margieann.
Yes, I would like to, I'm considering submitting a proposal to my corporation to work as an independent contractor, and I would like to know what the energy is around that.
All right, hold on. I would say there's about a 50% chance that they're going to say yes to the proposal at the current way you have it worded. But if you make a change in the wording, it's even stronger. There's just something about your wording that's not going to give them a go ahead and say yes, they want to do this with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would look at your proposal and look at how you've worded it and change a little wording. I get a stronger yes once it's been reworded or go in a different direction with it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you need anything else answered?
No, I would like to have a 1-card draw though.
Okay. Hold on. About just any old thing?
Anything, yes.
Okay, hold on. It's important to Okay, so you see this card? Yes or no?
Hold on, I had muted her because there was noise in the background. Hold on, Margieann.
Okay.
Sorry, because these names keep moving in the list, so my apologies.
It's all right.
Okay, go ahead, Shira.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, that tells me that you're more in charge of things than you think in your life. Okay, that more or less telling me that what you wants you. I don't know how else to say that. All you have to do is put your foot forward and choose the direction you want to go, and everything's a go.
Wow,
Does
that's
that make
beautiful.
sense to
Yes, it
what we
does.
just said about the proposal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. If you need any further help, just email me. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Markham, any questions for Margieann?
I was just, how do you determine or interpret the meaning of each card when it's pulled? That's all. The easiest way, and I think another person asked the same question of a different guide. That's all.
Are you reading the cards for a while, or are you just learning them?
A little bit of both.
Are you reading just for yourself, or are you reading for others?
Right now, just for myself.
Okay. Do you usually seek out the cards when you have a question about what's going to happen or what's going to occur about a certain event or something like that?
No, I usually just ask the questions and feel the energy and go with it that way.
Okay. Do you use a soft shuffle or do you
Yes.
use a hard one like you would with regular playing cards?
Soft?
Did you say soft?
Yes.
All right. When you're doing the cards, do the soft shuffle, ask your question one time, take a couple of deep breaths, be centered in your heart, put the cards down once you've shuffled them, tap them once, cut to the left, take one card. I want to say don't worry what the card might mean in a book. I want to say let your energy or spirit, let spirit show you what that card wants to say to you. Learn how to trust like that your intuition will come through the card that you've picked. But if you send me an email, because I did not make a list of books, if you send me an email, I'll give you a couple of books that I found helpful.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Okay. I think we have been through everyone, and we're a touch after 8. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to unmute all. And if you have a question or we haven't spoken with you, please let me know that. Okay. Carol, you are unmuted. Did you have another question? Or are you okay?
I'm okay, and
Okay.
and the one thing that I did think about is that so many of the things that Margie was saying to people, I thought, oh my God, it was almost like that what she was saying also spoke to me for something for me to do, or to look at doing in the future. So I was wondering, I'm presuming that that's quite common to have that you can pick up things from what other people are dealing with and see the reference to your own life.
Yes, the short answer, Margieann,
Yes,
is
that's
yes.
true. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. I'm going to put you back on mute. Mute. Okay. I do want to remind everyone, Margieann, can you share your email address again for us, please?
Yes, it's tarotstar15@gmail.com. So that's tarotstar15@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for participating. If you have some additional questions or you would like to reach out and contact Margieann, please do so by her email address. She will get back in touch with you and schedule a time to talk if that's appropriate, or will simply address your inquiry through the email. I thank you, Margieann. Amazing readings. I really do appreciate you sharing your talents with us. And we are wrapping up, and thanks again to everyone who has joined the call. We are now ending the meeting. And again, if you have any follow-up, email Margieann. I encourage you to do that, as she's warm, open, and does amazing work. Thanks again. Take care.